much, Jenna. Our man Drew Kozlov spending some time with the Live Eye setup on Lash Modier, which is where you'll find CrossFit. And today, Drew is getting his fit on. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning. I am not only being fit from a workout standpoint, but being fit from a lasting health standpoint, as we're learning about the pain-free workshop, how correcting your posture could be big health benefits for you right away or down the road. So if you're doing your workout and you're like, my knee hurts, I got to take a couple days off, we can correct those sorts of aches and pains by having proper posture during our workout sessions.
Is this like posture, like walking around or at work if you have an office job?
It's a nice mix of all of those things. Basically, we break posture down into 3 different planes, and by doing a postural analysis, we can figure out where our bodies may be out of alignment, and from knowing where those problem areas are, we can use certain exercises to get us back on track.
Very good.
All right, so we checked your posture, so we know you're in pretty good shape later on, but we've got some ideas for people who may be struggling or may be concerned.
Exactly. So I'd like to introduce Deb. Now you're going to be hosting the pain-free workshop tomorrow at 6:30 here at CrossFit. So before we get into our postural analysis, just do a quick recap of what it is that you do.
Well, basically, in postural therapy, we provide what's called the Egoscue method. And what we want to do is really highlight to our clients that we work with that it's more about your position than it is about your condition.
Okay.
So you might have chronic knee pain, and we're going to use Kathy here as the example. She's having some chronic knee pain. You can see that she's very fit, very functional, but there are some postural imbalances in her body above and below the knee, and she's taking that into her CrossFit workouts.
Okay, but when you look at her, you're like, she's in great shape, but you've sort of broken this down into a little more detail. So show us how you would do this analysis.
Now, this is just an example of, but you can see here by some of the dots that we've placed on Kathy, and we're looking here, this is called the frontal plane of her body. What we're doing is we've found the level of her pelvis. Now you can see that her pelvis has moved out of place. So this is telling us that there is a disparity, not in the pelvis itself. The pelvis responds to her hip joints. So all of the muscles that act on her hip joints are out of balance on both sides.
And that's not something that you would notice just by looking in the mirror.
Unless you had a trained professional who knows how to do a full postural analysis, you wouldn't catch that. So we know that the pelvis is out of place, so that's going to tell us a little bit more. What we're going to do for Kathy is we're going to write down something similar to this here. We'll use these dots as a reference so that she can see it, because you couldn't see that in the mirror before. And what we can do is we draw a plumb line. So we come just slightly in front of this, and if I were to drop this line straight down, you can see that these lines are not quite catching together.
So if things are out of alignment like this, can we change it, or are we sort of stuck with what we got?
Absolutely changeable. Muscles hold bones in place, not the other way around. So bones will go where muscles tell them to. So if you've got a muscle length tension relationship issue, Kathy happens to have knee pain, but we can clearly see that there's an imbalance on both sides of her body. And by doing a postural analysis and then a functional test, I can tell her if perhaps the knee pain has more to do with a dysfunction in her hips than it is actually by treating her symptom. So corrective exercise is more about addressing the body as a unit.
I see. So just because maybe your knee or ankle hurts, the root cause could be somewhere in the hips or the shoulder.
Right. The root cause could be somewhere else. Pain can go straight up from here to here, up to the hip, up to the shoulder. It can also go across. So we're always looking at drawing vertical lines according to our body's blueprint design, bringing it back to that blueprint design.
And you've been talking about how this is a preventative health thing. So whether you're 13 years old and just playing sports, or you're in your 60s and you think, oh, well, it's too late now for me to do anything, that is not the case.
I always say it's never too late. Never too late.
So this is something great to get involved in, because it's going to help you out not only with your workout routines, but your everyday fitness level. If you want more information on the pain-free workshop, just go to our website at breakfasttelevision.ca. We got all the details and tell you how to get signed up there. We got plenty more BT still to come this morning after a short break here on City TV.